All right, guys, so today we are going to install this modular dash mount from RAGO Fabrication. I think I got most of the tools we need to do it. I'm sure we'll think of more as we go. Let's jump in and I'll show you what we've had for the last several years and what we're going to do to get this installed. All right, so here's what we've been running for about 3 years now. Is just the tablet on the dash that is mounted with a simple ram mount that is drilled and screwed into the bezel. That was a big thing of debate at the time. Everybody said, don't drill, whatever. I'm gonna have the rig for a while, drilled one hole. That hole is actually gonna get covered up by this RAGO mount, but it has worked. However, fortunately, the tablet's just been in the right position, but if I wanna move it at all, it's really difficult to, just because of the limitation on the arms. A lot of questions and talk have gone about these different dash plates and losing your clock or visibility of your clock. I'm holding the camera right in front of my face right now, so as you can see, the clock is pretty much blocked anyways. I'm looking around to see the time, and my phone, which is usually mounted down here, shows the time all the time anyway, so plus there's the time on the tablet. So anyways, once you get past kind of losing visibility of that clock, your options open up. I know there's several different manufacturers of these plates. I picked the RAGO because I simply think it looks the best and it's going to function as well, if not better than the rest. I paid for this. This is not a RAGO sponsored anything. Paid for it with my own money. So gonna get it installed. I believe you will still be able to see the clock. I will show that for those who care, but for me, it wasn't a big deal. And I don't know if we'll be able to get everything mounted back up because I don't have all the RAM mount components, but the goal is to be able to get the tablet mounted to it. I'd like to move my radar detector back onto it maybe. My ham radio just sits down here and I want to mount it up there. And then one more cell phone mount for just passenger. My wife is usually putting her phone in the cup holder, then we get a coffee and whatever. One more mount, have a little more versatility. So for starters, I'm going to remove this, and I've got to kind of do a little more work than you will if you didn't have anything, because I've got to actually unscrew that from behind. So I have to remove everything, take this off, and then kind of put it back and then size the RAGO mount or the RAGO panel back up. But all we gotta do is take off this panel, pull this controls off, and the radio should come out. It should be pretty simple. So let's get to it. So just to kind of document it, this is the RAM mount that I've been using for, like I said, about 3 years now. Literally just drilled a hole, and there's I believe a nut and a washer on the back, or maybe a bolt. I don't remember, it's been a few years, but just to give you an idea of the position of it for anybody who wants to do that, it's been solid for 3 years. So that is a inexpensive, easy option to get a tablet up there. It's actually served its purpose quite well. I've been really happy with it. All right, so as you saw, everything pops out pretty easy. I'm not gonna remove the whole head unit because there's a lot of plugs, which would be easy to do, but everything I need to do, I can do with it from this point. I just gotta remove this ball. There's a nut on the back, so I'm just gonna unscrew that out, pop it back into place, and size up the RAGO mount. All right, so just opened up the panel just to show what comes with it outside of the packaging. Got the main mount itself, the two side swivels for like a CB radio or the phone. Don't know if I'm going to use those just yet. Some hardware. Of course, you get a piece of candy, stickers, cards, and that's about it. That's all you need. I popped the radio back into place, so it is pushed back into where it goes, so we can get this sized up. We're going to put the panel on there and start marking holes. All right, so from here, all you do is you set the two spacers up there. They're just resting there. Set the panel up there just to kind of get it into place. And then the trick they showed on their tutorial was to take the top screw, just set it in place so that it just holds that spacer. And I may have to do this with 2 hands, because it's hard to do this in film. Okay, so that screw is just sitting loose, holding the spacer in place, and then there's a way to line up the other side, so we're gonna run over there and do it real quick. All right, so we're over here on the passenger side. Again, the screw is just sitting in place, holding that spacer. Everything seems pretty level, and what you wanna do is line up this corner of the mount with the edge here. So it's gonna go right there. Pay attention to this reveal to make sure it's even, which it is. And mark this hole and drill it with a 3/16. All right, guys, one tip I haven't seen mentioned anywhere else that I just came across. So when I drilled this hole, I drilled it really easy. As soon as I got through the plastic, I stopped, but the screw was too long, and I started thinking, what's back there blocking it? So I did just pull the radio out, and all it is a little piece of like structural plastic for the lever. You're not actually going into the switch or anything. So if you were to take it off and look, you'll see there's just another thin piece of plastic to drill through. So I just drilled through that too, which is not hurting anything, but I did pull it off to double check. So we'll keep going. All right, so that screw is just set in there to hold it in place. That's kind of the starting point. I got this screw still dropped in, that one still dropped in, both holding the spacers. And I just went to the other side and checked the reveal along here to make sure it's even, line up the corner, and it's good. This is where it's gonna be. So I'm gonna start by just lifting this out, drilling this hole, dropping the screw in. Same thing over there, lifting it out, drilling the hole, dropping the screw in, and then I'll mark the hole on that side, because you have to actually have to pull this out to drill that side screw over there. So let's get these drilled. All right, so top 2 holes are drilled. The screws are just sitting in place to kind of hold it. Got the screw on this side in place and marked the hole over here. So we got to pop the radio out to get the drill to it, drill that hole, and then kind of fumble with some needle nose pliers to get the locking nuts on the back. So let's pop this out, get that other hole drilled, and start bolting it together. All right, so I got all the screws tightened down with the lock nuts and the little riv nuts or whatever they call them on the sides and the back. Needle nose pliers are the key. And another pro tip, when you're doing the side ones, pull the screw out and line up the nut on the inside so you can see through the hole. And once you get it lined up, then you can put the screw in. Trying to do it by feel was aggravating. So, other thing I noticed, so I was just checking this. I have a bunch of 1/4-20 carriage bolts that I use on my Prinsu rack because they fit right in the slots. They also work on this slot. So 1/4-20, I think it was a 1/2 inch from the inside and hand tight, and got the ram mount ball right on there so I can at least get the tablet back on today. And then I'll probably order a few more things to get mounts on there. But for now, while I got it kind of apart, I'm going to wipe the dash down because it's dusty and wipe stuff off and put it back together and see what it looks like. All right, guys, so that was that. Pretty easy install. Just been cleaning up and getting everything buttoned up. Tablet's mounted, actually in a little better position. It gave me the adjustability I wanted. So I was able to kind of push it back a little bit and angle it towards me. So that's not the only reason I did this, but that is one of the driving reasons. So I did that. Threw that up there because I was trying to find a phone mount so I could put it on there, but I couldn't find one. So I've got to order a few things, but all in all, I like it. It's a low profile. This is steel, so I can actually stick the GoPro to it. Gonna look at some different mounts to see about getting the radar detector mounted back here. I'd like to move it up, but I don't really want to run wires to the smart controller for it. But pretty easy to install. I would say if you were going to do it, it would take, I mean, you can get this done in rushing at 15 minutes, but give yourself half an hour to an hour easily. Took me quite a bit longer because I was filming it, which always takes a lot longer, but it really wasn't bad. It's straightforward and they're not bad. You know, watch RAGO for the sales and get yourself one. So I'll report back on how I like it. I'll get more stuff mounted to it. Kind of want to get things cleaned up a little bit, and that'll do it for this video. So thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.